I thought I would explain it. And I think, I think you and I talked. I think we might be doing this a little bit more regularly. So maybe we'll do some other genres, and maybe we'll go back to Balatro because I know you really liked that. So let me. It's the stream is not working on my computer yet. Over on my personal Facebook page. That's a little bit of a bummer. Although, did you see the thing that that my sister-in-law sent us about the Jamaican bobsled team this morning?
No, I did not.
According to CBS News, they're reporting that Jamaica has a 4-man bobsled team heading to the Olympics.
Oh, that's fabulous. Get the Kleenex out.
I know we're going to be very. We know that we love them. So
I do want to let you know that your mic is going in and out.
Yeah, I'm having that problem a little bit.
Yeah, you're gone completely now.
Okay, so should be better. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a trouble with my. Right, it does kind of fade in and out, and that is a bummer.
It sure is. Is it part of Riverside or something about your computer? Where does that come from?
It's definitely me.
Okay.
But I am something that I'm just gonna have to deal with. So if I fade out too much or too often, please let me know.
Okay.
But would not be too bad. If it is, then I think I need to get a new mic. Here we go.
I don't know if you're talking. I'm not hearing anything.
Not hearing anything?
Nope.
Well, that's trouble.
Should I be hearing sound from the game?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do right now is set the post so that it's public. I'm trying to set it so it's public so people can actually see it. Can you hear me?
I can right now,
okay,
yeah.
Good. Okay. So there's that. It's very weird why it is not letting me change the audience on my stream. But it's showing that it's private, and there's not really much point in me privately streaming to myself,
Right.
The good news is I can clip all this out. And,
right.
When I publish it on YouTube, which I will probably be doing. One person watching on Twitch, which is very fun. So welcome to the person on Twitch. Thank you for being patient while we sort this out. You want to throw something in the chat and let us know who you are if it's somebody I know. I'm sure Pro Gamer Nana would like to say hi. Well, you know what? It is. This is really kind of annoying. It's not working. So I am kind of taken aback. So I'm gonna reload Facebook, and then if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna move on. So I don't want to spend that much time on this. I would like to hang out with my mom and play a video game, not mess around with settings on Facebook.
So the issue is that you can't go. It can't be public. This is just between.
What's happening is, here we go. I was able to fix it. It just wasn't showing up. So when you use Riverside, which is the service that I use, you can stream it to a bunch of different platforms. So I have it go to my Twitch page and the Engage Family Gaming YouTube channel, and I have it go to my personal Facebook page. But when it goes to my personal Facebook page, it defaults to a private view, so nobody else can see it. And so I have since fixed that. So now everybody on my Facebook wall can go see it, and even better, anyone that chats on any of those platforms, I'll see it in the chat. So let's talk about the video game of the week.
Okay.
So World of Warcraft is, I think, it's a hugely. Let me share the screen again. And okay. So World of Warcraft, super important game for me. I've been playing it pretty much since it came out 20 years ago, and I play it with your oldest grandson and your middle grandson. I played it with my wife at one point. I played it with Mike. This is a huge game. It is not as big as it used to be, but it is still wildly important and influential, and I don't think I'll ever stop playing at this point. I had stopped for a while. I came back during the pandemic because I needed something social to do late at night,
right.
other than fight with people about COVID-19 on Facebook.
Right.
Because I'm sure you saw me in some of the obnoxious fights I was getting in. It was just not a healthy way to spend time. So I thought if I was going to be up late at night after my wife went to bed, I figured I might kill dragons, as opposed to argue with people on the internet. So, I'm going to start with the very basics. World of Warcraft is called an MMORPG. What that stands for, it's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. So essentially, I create a character, or as you can see, I have a lot of them.
Oh, wow.
And you make a character, and you enter a world, and it is ideally full of real characters, like other people who are playing alongside you. So if I'm running into a castle or whatever to do a quest, and I see another player, that is another person at their computer in the game playing at the same time. And we can work together, we can form parties and guilds and stuff like that. And I've been a part of the same guild since forever. And so, and they're real, at this point, I have some of those folks that are as close to me as, my real life friends, the real friendships that I value. So,
when you're doing a quest with other people, do you communicate by chat or can you actually talk?
So we talk via text, unless I generally only talk to people via text, unless I am grouping with them a lot. And then we use an app. It's a service called Discord, which I'm sure you've heard us talk about.
Yeah.
And we use Discord where we can, join communities and, we can join voice chat that way. But I don't generally voice chat with strangers. And honestly, a lot of the time, if it's just a chance encounter, if I'm running around and fighting a monster and somebody else is fighting the same monster, we might never actually talk. We might just do our, have that neat interaction where we fight the monster together, and then we might just get back on our horses and ride away. And I might never see or play with that character again.
Okay.
But like, we play on servers. So it's and so, there's millions of people that play World of Warcraft, but it's divided up into different servers is what they call them, but they are, basically smaller groupings of players. So you can see a lot of the same players around, over time. And so like, I'll recognize some people, and I'm sure that some people recognize me. And, just based on the fact that I've been around a long time, I know they recognize my guild name because we've been around for 20 years. And yeah, so it's a lot of like chance interactions that come up, and then it just kind of happens and we run around, and it's kind of like the real world, right? You don't necessarily, you go to the grocery store, you're all waiting in line, you're all doing the same thing, but as soon as you're done with that little, task, even if you become a 5-minute best friend, which I know is our family's favorite thing to do, we just scatter to the four winds and go do stuff. So this is the character selection screen, and essentially you create characters, and you level them up just like in any other video game, right? And you gain experience points and you get equipment. And so World of Warcraft just recently added this neat home screen where you can have 4 characters kind of standing in a campsite together. And so I had to make the painful decision of choosing like who my 4 favorite characters were. And so these are my 4, like, my dudes. And this guy that I'm clicking on right now that's doing the thing with his hands, this is actually a character this was my first ever World of Warcraft character. And he has existed since before Evan was born.
Wow.
This was my very first World of Warcraft character, and I played him, forever. And I actually thought I lost the account. And when I came back to World of Warcraft during the pandemic, I had a problem with something, and I reached out to customer service, and I mentioned that I had another account that was lost. And the guy found him and was able to merge the accounts. So I was actually able to get the character that I thought was lost forever back. And so he'll always be here, even if I don't play him all that much. And so he's there. And so, so these are my 4 guys. And so I have a monk who is a panda bear. And yeah, he's wearing a really scary kind of dragon helmet right now because I think it looks cool. The guy that I play the most is this guy. His name is Brawn Guard. You'll notice a theme that a lot of my characters have guard at the end of them. That's kind of just a thing I did. And it's just because Dorn Guard over here is my first character. Yeah. So I just kind of went with it. And so I have a lot of characters that have something with guard at the end. And so this is the character that I play the most right now, and he's a priest. So I play a healer, which is, for the purposes of the game, really what I do is I don't do a lot of fighting. I sit back and I like help other people fight monsters. So I like heal and protect and, give people buffs because I really like to support other people. That's a lot of what I do in a lot of the games that I play. And so it's just kind of a natural extension. And this is a guy I made as kind of an inside joke, but he is a druid, so he can like turn into a bear and, all sorts of other fun stuff. And he just looks really cool, I think. So
he is very cool looking.
But what I thought we would do is make a new character. I would start a brand new level 1 with Pro Gamer Nana, and we would let you kind of run the show, was kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit the create character button, and we'll.
Okay, before you do that, the 4 people that are here, these are only 4 of your many, many characters that you play with.
Yep.
So when you go into World of Warcraft, you decide which one you want to play.
Yep. Yeah, I literally would click one, and
they are in different places. They're in different worlds.
Well, they in today they could be today. They all happen to be. If you look at the, I don't know if you can see it, but on the character select screen,
Yeah.
it tells me like their name and what level they are and what class
Right.
they are. And
Right.
then underneath this Dornogal, that's like the name of the location that they are in.
Okay.
Dornogal happens to be the name of the capital city for the expansion that we are playing in right now. I'll log in and I'll show you because I think it's
Okay.
actually kind of cool. So
But they're all at level 80. They're all at the same level.
yeah, I play a lot of World of Warcraft. And yeah, so the right now level 80 is the highest level you can be in World of Warcraft right now.
Oh, okay.
That will likely change at
Did you have to get up to level 80 with each character, or do all of your characters move up when
I
you
had to do it individually.
Oh, okay.
It's not that hard if you are, it's not that hard.
Much as you do.
I mean, I play a lot, but so let me
look at this. Wow.
So this is the capital city. So I have a lot of like
wow.
There's a lot going on. So, but let me just show you. This is the advanced stuff. So, one of the things you get is you get mounts, and I don't know why I have a robot in a fantasy game, but as you can imagine, I wasn't gonna not have a robot in the fantasy game.
Right.
So let me fly up to the top somewhere, and I'll show you. So this is the capital city of Dornogal, which is in the story. This is a city that was built around the surface. It was built on the surface of the planet to defend and manage this big pit that I'm looking at right here,
Okay.
which is in the fiction of the world. And we can talk about that whenever you want down the line if we play this a lot more. But this is a tunnel that goes directly to the core of the world. And so this expansion is called The War Within. And so what's neat about this one is, whereas normally, it's a big planet. And so everything's kind of, all the zones that we go to are all like next to each other. So we can just fly in a straight line and go from one to the other. But here they're actually kind of stacked vertically. So we're actually going down towards the center of the planet, which is something they've never done before. It's very neat. And so this is since it's about a tunnel into the earth, everything is very stone and carved out of rock. And they're a race of dwarves, like, fantasy dwarves, that live here that kind of maintain it. And so all of my characters are here now because this is kind of where everybody is right now. Right. But probably by the end of this year, we'll have a new expansion and there will be a new capital city. See that person that just flew by? That was a person. That random dragon flying by. We'll have a new expansion. We'll have a new capital city. We'll have new places to go. And so right now I'm just, this just happens to be where all my guys are.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. So if someone else was here showing their friend where the tunnel is, they would see you. They would see that character and there would be an identifier of your name. I thought I saw like a little line that said who it was. Okay.
Yeah. So this is kind of where people stand and kind of hang out right now.
Oh gosh, so there's lots of people here.
Yeah, this is it's the morning, so there's not as many as like during prime time, but like this person on this purple pirate bird.
Yeah.
This is a druid named Zemet. Apparently, if you look in the lower right hand side of the screen, it says their name, and it also says their name right over their head.
I cannot read the writing.
Okay, yeah, it's too small. So, but. If I mouse over somebody, because of this little lightning thing, if I mouse over somebody, I get towards the bottom right of the screen. It'll tell me like who they are and what their deal is.
Right.
And so at night during prime time, when there's lots of people on, this server is set to East Coast time. Right?
Okay.
So right now for this server, it's 9:00 in the morning. There are other servers that are set like in other countries and to encourage people they want people to be on at the same time, right? But
right,
I'm here. And so it's not as busy as it is like at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night when everybody's kind of settling in. But
Right.
this is full of people either waiting in queues to do different events, or maybe they're just hanging out, not doing anything, chatting with friends or stuff like
Yep.
that. And so I spend a lot of time here when I'm not like when I'm playing, but I'm not really doing anything, or if I'm waiting to get a group together, or I'm just chatting with my friend Marie or something like that. I'll just kind of hang out here, and sometimes I'll just run around like a butthead, and
There's
just
there's
look at
some
people
very
and stuff.
cool looking characters though. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Very
There's
cool.
the having really cool mounts
Yeah.
that you can ride, and like this person's got this really awesome cat, and that bird that just crash landed next to me. Collecting these really cool mounts, and getting the different armor that you can wear, so that you look cool, it's a big deal. So I worked pretty hard to get this really nice matching blue set for this guy. And so everybody does the same thing. That's a really big piece of the game. It's kind of working on getting matching gear and collecting that stuff. And that's it's your oldest son, your oldest grandson, Evan. That's his favorite part of the game, is basically just playing dress up.
So you earn pieces of your costuming?
Yeah. So while you play the game, you fight monsters and you complete quests. And when you fight things, and I'll show you this when we make a new character as we go through, they'll drop things that you can either equip and use, or they'll drop stuff that you can use to make things. And over time, and I can show you. I have a yak that I can get on that lets me kind of change the way my clothes look.
Oh my goodness.
So I have over time collected, like, these are all appearances of different kinds of armor that I've gotten over the last 20 years.
Okay.
And so at any time I can go get on my yak, and they call it transmogrifying, which is just a silly word for will make you look however you want. It doesn't matter how the actual armor set looks. And so I could actually go back and put on armor from 20 years ago, and wear that for a day if I wanted to, which is kind of fun sometimes.
Yeah. I can see why Evan would love that.
Oh, he loves it. But then they have special weird silly ones. They just put this one out this past month, where you can have look like a little gnome. And they've got fancier ones, like this one with the stars and everything. And so it's not hard to imagine. Oh, I didn't realize that I had collected all of these appearances. I kind of like the red one. But and they all look very different.
Do you have different abilities when you're wearing different armor?
No, not really. This particular thing is all cosmetic. Like the transmogrifying thing is, you can just make your stuff look like anything. In the actual stuff that I wear, yeah. I mean, as I find new gear, part of what I'm trying to do is everything has like an item level that has stats, and I'm just trying to make that go up, like when I play the game. But for the cosmetic stuff, it doesn't matter. That was something they added a couple of years ago. Well, maybe more than a couple at this point. And it was a huge thing that people really liked, because then you could look however you wanted, no matter what you were fighting in. And everybody just really got into the cosmetic stuff. So
yeah, well, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I know lots of folks that that spend a lot of time playing dress up. I have all these different characters, so I really like to, as you see looking through it, I really like collecting different appearances for all of them,
right?
Because it's really fun.
And when you have them forever.
And yeah, once you have it forever. Whereas, the joke is, like, if you get an upgrade, it's only as useful until you get your next one, right? Like you get a
Right.
fancy car, it's only really fancy until you get another one, right?
Right.
Whereas, here it's, you get a certain piece of armor or this sword that is on him. Oh, well, I just accidentally logged in on Dorngard. This sword that he has is like a really famous sword from back before Evan was born. And it took me a very long time to get it. And so now I have it, and I never put it down because it looks so cool. Even though it's a little outdated at this point. So does that make sense? And so
Yeah,
you get to take a look at my
do you have more than one mount, or do you just have one mount?
I have so many mounts. I don't collect them as much as some of my other friends do, but my mounts, I've got a lot. So I have, I can show you. I have, like cool butterfly. Oh, there's the thing in the way. Let me move that.
That looks like Meggie.
Well, I mean, it is very cute. And let's see, what else do I have?
Do different mounts have different abilities?
So, yeah. So there are flying mounts that let you fly.
Right.
And then there are ground mounts that you can only, like horses, and this is a really cool looking goat thing. And this cool frog. They're ground only mounts, so they can't fly. And so it is. So there's that, and then there's also a few mounts that I have, like this yak, which has it has two guys on it that kind of pop up, and one of them I can use to sell stuff that's in my bags if I need to, like if I found treasure that I don't want and I just want to sell it to get money. Or he gives me access to the thing that lets me change my appearance.
Wow. Okay.
And I have another one that is, this is a relatively recent thing. I have this giant dinosaur that actually has a mailbox where I can send mail to other characters. And it has an auction house, which the auction house is a thing. And the auction house is, if you find stuff, you can put it up on the auction house and sell it to other players, and they can buy stuff from you. And it is the auction house, interestingly enough, is region wide. So like every server in North America is all connected. So I can put stuff up, and somebody in, Nebraska could buy it.
Right.
And so it's kind of I actually play a lot with the auction house. It's like it's almost like running a small business. As silly as that sounds, where
silly.
I teach my sons a lot about economics. They actually have a real world economist on staff at the Blizzard to help manage the game economy.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking about how many hundreds of people must be employed in the creation of all of these different characters, mounts, weapons, costumes. It must be like a huge industry.
The World of Warcraft team. I'm going to check that right now. How big is the World of Warcraft development team? Because it's pretty big, I think. So it looks like, as of last July, it was over 500 people.
Yeah, that would make sense. Wouldn't that be the ultimate dream job for like 2/3 of the young men I know, for sure?
There's a lot. I mean, there are a lot of folks that do want to make games. And I actually know a few people that really wanted to work have wanted to work specifically on World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
It's a legacy game.
Right.
It's video game development is really hard to get into.
I'm sure.
I mean, as my cousin Peter, wanted to work in making games, and he found some kind of other routes to do it. But it is certainly a lot of, there's a lot to it.
Right.
I know I wanted to back in the day, but I have found my way to talking about games is a little bit better for me.
Yeah. Well, it's when I was a kid, everybody wanted to be on a sports team. It was the same kind of thing.
Yep.
There was some point in everybody's life where young men wanted to be on a sports team. And now it seems to me that when I'm with younger people, at some point in their life, every young man wants to create or work on video games. It's
Yep.
just like a part of our culture now.
And even younger ones, they just want to be YouTubers.
Right.
So it's, everybody's got a thing they want to do.
Right.
And now and they want to be YouTubers. And you know what?
I'm
I can tell them.
blown away by the quality of the artwork in this. I've never seen it before, and it is really amazing to see.
I agree. It really is great. So, it's and what's wild is it's a 20-year game. They made some really conscious decisions in the beginning to not try and make it look realistic. They really tried to make it look more like a cartoon, which at the time they were actually criticized. There were some folks that were like, "Yeah, this looks kind of corny and a little cheesy," and admittedly, it does sometimes. But the advantage is, there've been a handful of times where they've had to make some pretty significant updates just to make the game function. But it's never really looked old. There are some times where it needs a little bit of help, but the fact that it looks more cartoony really saves it from looking drab. It's kind of
I'm comparing it to Avatar, which is the other one that I have a lot of experience with, which is presented as real world.
Yeah.
And I can see the difference of what you're talking about.
Yeah, and if you think about it, in 10 years, it's a little bit different now. But in 10 years, when we put Frontiers of Pandora right next to another game that's cutting edge, then you'll be able to really tell. And here you can,
right?
I can, but they really try to get around that by just making things brighter colors and things like that. So, let's make a character.
Okay.
And I think because that'll give us an opportunity to really talk about the a little bit more about what this game is.
Okay.
So, World of Warcraft. Oh, don't mind that very angry lady bouncing around. So, World of Warcraft is at its core about a war between the Alliance and the Horde. I don't want to say, in fact, a lot of folks in the beginning were like, oh, well, the Alliance is the good guys and the Horde is the bad guys. And that's not true. There's a lot of misunderstandings, and both sides have done some pretty gnarly stuff. But essentially, within the fiction of this very detailed world that really has had its beginnings in some strategy games that were released. I remember playing the first Warcraft Orcs versus Humans game on my on a computer in the computer lab when I was in high school. So this world has been around and developing stories for a very, very long time. And so the Alliance it started as in the very beginning as the humans and the dwarves and the night elves and the gnomes working together, and on the other side were the Horde with the orcs and the undead and the Tauren and trolls. And over the last 20 years, other races have been discovered that have either joined one side or the other, or in the case of the Pandarans and the Draxthir, these new dragon people that came out in the last expansion, they can do both. Because of the story have they find ways to relate to either of them, right? And so I primarily play characters on the Alliance, and the reason for that is because they have dwarves. And so, you know that I love Gimli from Lord of the Rings, and he was my favorite character. So if I had the choice to play the faction that had dwarves in it, that's the one that I was going to play. So if they were Horde, I would have been Horde, right? So these are so, and we have a new character select screen as of a couple years ago that really gives us some more neat flavor. And so when you're making a character, the first thing you do is you kind of decide on a faction. I pretty much always default to the Alliance, and then you choose a race. And each race has different classes that they can play. And the classes kind of determine how you play. For example, warriors do warrior stuff, right? They fight with big weapons and they fight in melee and they hit dudes. Whereas a priest is a healer. And so they use magic and they protect their friends, etc. Or, a monk, they do a punch and a kick.
Yeah.
So, or a mage, they throw fireballs at guys, or in this case, they do stuff like that. So, I would love to make a character with you, and we can kind of customize her, and then we can pick a class, and then we'll go in and we can talk about the game, and I'll just play it, and we can go from there. Does that sound okay?
Sounds perfect.
So, would you? I mean,
look at how is she human? Oh, that's too bad. I really like her.
You like her? Well, let's just make her. Well, why not? This is a race called the Draenei, which are more or less aliens that came from another kind of planet, trying to get away from an army of demons, basically. And so they are friends of the Alliance. They joined us because they crash landed near us, more or less. So
Draenei, huh?
Draenei is that. I mean, we could go through all the different races if you want. I have infinite patience. We can do whatever we want. But if you like this one, I'm fine to go with the spirit of things. The one that was clicked here, this is the Draenei, and this is the Mage, which is you kind of hang back and you shoot fireballs or big icicles or whatever at bad guys and kill them from a distance.
Boy, that sounds like me.
All right. Well,
I would rather be at a distance helping other people throwing than I would doing like hand-to-hand combat or anything like that.
Sure. Well, let's hang back then, and let's do this one. So we can customize the way she looks and everything. It's going to be kind of great. So
okay.
Let's
fireballs in her hands that she can throw at people.
Yep, she absolutely can. That's what we're going to do. So we're a mage. We are a Draenei mage. So let's customize a little bit. So first we got to pick a name. And I kind of like to hit the random button a little bit to see if it gives me anything. But I'm gonna so we call you Nancy Gold Shoes.
Right.
But she has hooves. So I'm gonna see if I can call her Gold Hooves.
Oh, that'd be great.
And that name, so what's the fun mini game we have when we make a new character is, there's been so many things, sometimes the names are taken, but that little green check, that's the good news. That means Gold Hooves is available. So that's what we're going to call her.
Okay, good. I like that.
So now we can change her appearance. So this is what she looks like. She won't be wearing that dress right away. She'll probably be wearing something a little bit more humble, but we can figure that out.
Okay.
We got go ahead.
Can we make her hooves gold?
We will be able to eventually.
Okay.
Fancy gold food.
Yep, that's it, Dad. I hear Dad in the background. So we got a bunch of different skin colors that you can choose. So we can kind of go through them. They've got everything from like a really deep blues. There's a purple, and like this really pale white. What do you think, Mom? Do you want blue?
Show me the purple. Show me the purple. Right-hand column, third and fourth one down.
So we got this purple.
I kind of like that.
All right, well, let's go with it. And
it's regal to go with my gold hooves.
Well, yeah, that's what we like to see.
Purple.
Let's see. And so the face is kind of hard to tell the difference on these guys. But like the face, if we zoom in, this is as zoomed in as I can go. But basically, it's how severe do you want to look? This is a nice not angry face.
Yeah, I would like a not angry face. That
All right.
one, that one looks very compassionate. Look at her.
Yep,
She's just
I
trying
like
to.
it.
She's looking for people to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And by help you mean set the things attacking them on fire, right?
Correct.
So hair color, we got lots of options, but I feel like we gotta go with blonde, right?
Yeah.
So that's the default blonde. There's another one, but this is a little bit more Nana.
I like that one because it's it could be confused with gray, and I am Nana, so
Right.
that's okay. That's good. That makes me happy.
So Dre and I have horns, so we got a lot of options for horns. So I'm just gonna go through them, and you tell me which one you like. So we got these ones sweeping, where they go back, kind of over the top of your head,
Yeah.
and then we got curls. So this kind of does, this kind of has the, this kind of does the ram thing. Then you have thick horns, where if we look at it from the front, like they're really big. This kind of gives me what's that Disney villain?
Yep. I know who.
Angelina Jolie played. I can't.
Right.
And then curved ones. These ones kind of shoot out to the side, so it's kind of like the sweeping ones, only they stick out. Makes your head a little wider. And then we have wide, where they literally stick out directly to the side. The grand ones, these ones are kind of neat. These are like bull horns.
Yeah.
And then you can have short ones or arched ones that are kind of offset. I don't know if you can see. And you can have them
So
go forward.
like
Which one, Ma?
I kind of like the short ones that you showed me when you were going
Sure.
through. Those guys, I kind of like those. The short
Let's
ones.
do it.
They go out the side. I like that they're asymmetrical.
All right. We like that. And then eye color. You can be blue, green, yellow, purple, or dark purple.
Ooh, go back one. That one. What? No, the dark one. What's the dark
one?
I like that.
All right. Well, let's do it. And then tendrils. So they got these things sticking out the back of their head, these little tendril things. So basically, you can have thin ones or thick ones.
Thin ones.
All right. And do you like this circlet thing, or do you want to take it off?
Oh, I like it.
Right.
I like it a lot.
All right. We can definitely do that. So now we have another option. So now we go to the body. That was the face. Pardon me. She's in her undies for a little bit. So
Sure.
The first one is you get to choose a tail. So short. Do you want it short with some jewelry on it? Or medium? Well, I guess it's do you want it short or medium or long? Because you got a tail. Do you want...
I want it long.
You want it long. All right, so we got the long one, and then the next one is do you want jewelry on it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, and so then we got some color options for the jewelry. So this one's a little bit much. So basically, do you want it to... The gem color, the majority of them are purple. And then
right. I want it to match the one on my head.
Okay, so we want purple. Okay, so then we want like this. Yeah, I think that matches the one on your head.
Yep, I like that.
Actually, wait, I think... Oh, it'll always match the one on your head, because when we choose this jewelry color, it actually changes your tail and the thing on your head.
Okay, good, because I want them to match.
Yeah, well... so does that look good?
Yeah, that looks great. I like her.
Right, let's go with it. All right. So next. Okay. So it gives us the choice between which starting zone we start in. And I'm going to use this one, the Exile's Reach, because it is newer. And it's a little it's easier to look at.
Okay.
So we're going to pick that one.
Okay. And she has to be in her underwear until I earn.
Nope.
I know.
No. She's going to have a, nope, she's going to be wearing a relatively simple robe. So now, here she is. She's going to have a little stick and a white and blue robe. And I put her in my family group because this is a guy that I made to play with Jake. He's also a Draenei, so go figure. The family is kind of getting in. So what we're going to do, so the first thing I'm going to do, bear with me just a moment, is I'm going to turn off all my add-ons.
Okay. So I'm a level 1 mage.
Yep.
And level 1 means I'm a brand new beginner, and mage means I throw fire or maybe ice.
Probably a little bit of both, but yes. Yeah. And right now you don't have a location because you haven't started the game yet.
Okay.
But
and I'm a Draenei, so I came from another nearby planet. Yep. Right. Okay.
And so here we are. And so
I'm in the family group. I love
you. Are in the family group. So are you hearing the game audio?
No.
Okay. So that's a bummer. But so this is a cutscene. So I'll talk over it. Basically, the Alliance sent an expedition to this uncharted island. And so you start on the boat. And so here you are, right there, the character with the yellow outline.
Yeah.
And so what they're doing is they're sending us on a mission to this uncharted island to go rescue some expedition members. And so now this is where it actually teaches us how to play the game. So it even tells you like where to put your hands, right? And so, if you were playing this on your computer, you'd put one hand on the keyboard and you would put 3 fingers on the W, A, S, and D buttons because that is how you move. And then you would also use the mouse. So that's how I play.
Okay.
And so that's the first thing. And so you can control the camera and look around. And so I did that.
Are you doing that with your mouse?
I am doing that with my mouse, yes. And so this is you can kind of look all around and then you walk around, and I'm doing this with my keyboard.
Okay.
So what it wants me to do now is I'm going to see these people in the world that have a yellow outline and they have this symbol on them. Now, being that you know SideQuest Solutions, that symbol might look pretty familiar to you.
It does.
And that's on purpose. So
cool.
The quests so if you see an exclamation point in World of Warcraft, that means that they have a quest for you. So you can go talk to them.
Oh, okay.
And the ones that are important, like that are related to the story, have this kind of shield looking thing.
Okay.
And so that way you kind of know what to do. And so you click on the character and then they give you a little text. And so it'll say, warming up, prepare yourself, Gold Hooves. We're nearing the island where the previous expedition was lost. Warm up on these combat dummies, which are these guys back here. We need everyone ready for whatever we find on that island. And then it tells me the quest objectives, which is warm up by fighting a combat dummy. And then it tells me what the rewards are, which rewards are, for the most part, money and experience points. And the way that it works is as you gain experience points, you gain levels. And as you gain levels, you get more power. Hi, Tucker. So he wants to be in on the stream.
He does.
So now it tells me it wants me to target a combat dummy. So you can see this little hand. Can you see this little hand where my cursor is?
I can.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mouse over and I'm going to click one of these combat dummies.
Okay.
And you'll know, and I'll know that I'm targeting because this little yellow circle is on its feet, right?
Okay.
Like if I move around and target different ones.
Okay.
And now this is my action bar, right? And so my action bar is like, this is what junk I can do. And so the first spell they give mages is Frostbolt. So I'm going to stand still and I'm going to hit the 1 button on my keyboard and I'm going to start casting. And so I'm just moving the camera around so you can see. And so I have a little cast animation. My hands get all frosty and I blew up the target dummy. And that's good. That's what I wanted. And so when I finish the quest, see, it's giving me the tutorial here. When I finish my quest, it wants me to go back to the original quest giver, and you know that it's done because it's got the same symbol, but the question mark, gold, means that your quest is complete and you're ready to turn it into them. So then I click on them, and then it says, warming up. Good. Looks like you've kept up your mage training during our voyage. I'm concerned about the sudden turn in the weather. Spar with Private Cole while I speak with the ship's crew. Cole's report will determine where we'll place you on the initial expedition team. So now I got to go fight this guy. Oh, and I gained a level. That's what that big spark was. And so I have this bar down here on the bottom of the screen. And basically what it does, it keeps track of how much XP I get. And every time I gain a level, I get more powerful and do more stuff. So, and I got a new spell because I got a little alert over here called Fire Blast. So what I do is I just come up to I can open my spell book and then I add it to my bar. And this is the tutorial's just teaching me to do all this stuff.
Okay.
And so now I have another spell. So now I'm going to come talk to Private Cole.
Okay.
And he'll say, I hope this rain isn't a bad omen. This is supposed to be a simple rescue mission. You'll be sparring with me today. We have to make sure you can handle yourself once we make landfall. Let's see what you got. And it wants me to spar with him. So I'm going to accept. And then we'll see what all right, so he's going to run over here. And so now I'm going to target him just like I targeted the dummy. And then I'm going to shoot him with a frostbolt. And then I'm going to hit that 2 button because that's where my fire blast is, and 2 frostbolts and a fire blast, and he was done. Cool part about mages is they do a lot of damage. Like that's their thing. They don't take a lot of hits. They're pretty delicate. But they hurt. So you don't want to mess with a mage sometimes.
Okay.
So then he says, so I turn in my quest because I got my question mark. He says, you're a skilled mage recruit. I think you'll prove a welcome addition to the main rescue team. So I got a little promotion there. And then that purple text that popped over my head was how much experience I got for completing the quest. And now he has another quest for me.
Okay.
That's it for warming up. You and other new recruits are a promising bunch, I'll tell you that. Hold on, what's that sound? I think something big is heading our way. Uh-oh. And now the weather shifted. And we are in the middle of a storm, which I can't imagine is very good. So they're saying you can't hear the audio because Riverside is being a jerk. I'll have to fix that. But it's saying we got to get below decks because, that's what you do when you're on a sailboat in bad weather, right?
No, you're doing that with AWSD, right? That movement?
Yep. Yes. So
trying to find those stairs so you can go down?
Well, I'm going to talk to Captain Garrick first to see, because I haven't done this in a while, so I don't know if I don't remember if it makes me go downstairs. But I'm going to talk to Captain Garrick first. She has a quest, or I'm turning in a quest to her. And the quest's name is Brace for Impact. The ship may not make it to the island. Hold on to something sturdy and stick with your fellow recruits. We'll get through this. And I complete it. And then we get a little loading screen. These other characters
that are on the deck with me are other people playing this game right at this minute?
They are not. Those were NPCs. Those were non-player characters that were just crews. This part of the game, the one that was on the boat, was by yourself.
Okay, and that was the captain that I just saw?
That was the captain, and we just we're having some trouble. So we just crashed on the island.
Okay. There I am, all wet.
All wet. So now here we are, and we are by the ocean. There's part of our boat.
Yeah.
Right there. There's the other part of our boat. It's a mess.
Yeah.
And so now, I see the island kind of expanding out before me, and I see there's a quest right here. So now I'm going to walk up, and it's Captain Garrick. Okay, so that's a good news. That's a good thing.
Good.
So,
did they both survive?
Well, I don't know. We're going to find out. So, she says, the next quest is Murloc Mania. I'm glad you made it out in one piece. Judging by the nearby shipwrecks, I think it's safe to say the missing expedition ran aground here too. We can't move until we've got the remaining survivors back on their feet. Unfortunately, our remaining supplies have been stolen by Murlocs, annoying little pests. I need you to recover enough first aid supplies for the wounded. Then we can begin searching for the missing expedition. So the quest objectives, it wants me to get 6 first aid kits from Murlocs. It even shows us what the Murlocs look like. These are classic World of Warcraft enemies. They're all over the place. And these just kind of weird, silly fish dudes.
Walking fish.
Yeah, walking fish. And they're kind of World of Warcraft mascots, really.
Okay.
So now it's telling me to look for objectives. So at the top right of the, I'm not on a boat anymore. I'm like in an actual place, right? And so this is the map, the mini map, right?
Okay.
And so it'll actually tell me if I see this silver outline, this will tell me like where the quest that I am on, like where to go do it. They really try to make it so that you're not lost, right? So they want you to have a good idea of where you're going. You can actually zoom in on the map and like really kind of figure it out. And also there's a map button where you can,
there's a map button.
yeah, I can bring up a map, a big old map of the island.
Okay.
Or the region that I'm in, and it'll kind of give you an idea where you got to go. And it has like some place names.
And you are here. Is that gold thing at the bottom?
Yes, I am down here. This blue, the silver arrow, and that that gold thing is actually like a marker on the map that says what my quest is.
Okay.
And so it wants me to go get first aid kits from defeated Murlocs.
Right.
So now I'm gonna. Well, do you have another question?
No, I just am looking for Murlocs because I don't see any.
Well, that's because they're just a little far away, but we'll get there. So here we are. We're in their camp, and so you can see, these yellow bars.
Yep.
Kind of. So those are what those tell me is these are things that I can attack. And so these are Murlocs, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to target one just like the target dummy.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to just start shooting them.
That you did with your mouse.
That I did with my mouse. And this one, I took them out in one shot. So the next piece of the tutorial is it wants me to learn how to search monsters. So if you kill a monster, now the good news is these guys they won't attack me right away. They're real dumb.
Right.
And so this guy has...
Love that. Sparkling corpses.
Yeah. So if it sparkles, that means that it has treasure for me. So then I can just walk up and right click it, and up in the left-hand corner of my screen, it'll be what's in it. And so I got 11 copper coins, and look, he's got a first aid kit for me.
Okay.
So now I have
6, right?
Yep. So I got 1.
Okay.
So now let's beat up this guy. And I got him. Well, I gained another level because every time you kill monsters, you get another. You get some XP, and it still wants me to search him. And
XP the person is experience.
The XP, yeah, I'm sorry. XP is experience points, and so now I have another spell because it gives me a little notification.
Okay.
And so this is a spell called Frost Nova, and what this one does is, I'll just hit the button. What it does is it shoots out a wave of frost around you, and what it'll do is it'll freeze enemies in place. So then you can freeze them and then run away so that they're not next to you. And so I'm gonna hit this guy. And it looks like I'm just killing these guys in one shot. And that's okay. Then, go ahead.
This just because it's the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. This is the beginning. The point of this quest, the reason this particular island is designed the way that it is each quest is designed to teach you a different thing. So this quest is really about learning how to do a standard, very easy, like kill and collect quest, which is go kill some dudes and get items off of them. It's very common. Now what this did is this taught me that if you search, like, because I didn't search this guy, but like if you search one monster and there's another one like right next to you, the game, just to make it faster, will search all of them. Because who wants to sit and click 50 guys if you killed a bunch,
right?
And so it's also showing that you can hit guys that are up, and you don't just have to hit guys that are walking around.
Yep.
And I found an interesting thing here. I know you can't see it, but I have some stitched cloth shoes, which right now, if I look on my character, I actually don't have boots. So now we have some cloth shoes. And so as you kill enemies, you're going to get pieces of equipment that you can put on. And so I found that. And so now I have my 6 first aid kits, killed 6 Murlocs. And so now I'm going to go back. And you see, I'm done. Because,
you go to Question mark is.
Yep.
Whoops.
Did you recover the first aid kits? Don't take the Murlocs lightly. I didn't. I took them frostily.
Yes. Why did you use frost instead of fire?
Because that was the spell that I have right now. You don't get fire for. Mage is really interesting because they show you fire on the main character screen, on the character select screen, but you get frost first. And I'm sure there's a design reason why, but they give you frost. But we're gonna make sure that we switch to flame pretty soon.
Okay.
But mages use both pretty often. So, but as soon as I can, we're gonna switch to flame once I get a fireball. So, but
okay.
Ice has the advantage of it slows guys down.
Right.
So I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. So he says, excellent work. Let's get the survivors back on their feet. So I complete my quest. I get 587 experience points, which is a lot. And then it's, we have to patch everyone up before we can begin the search for the missing expedition. Take this first aid kit and tend to the wounded. Somebody asking, morning, what are we playing? This is a little bit of World of Warcraft. I started a brand new character with my mom, Pro Gamer Nana, and we are learning kind of how MMOs work and, kind of starting up a brand new thing. Yep, this is the new leveling experience in it's called Exile's Reach. They added it with the Dragonflight expansion, I think probably a year and a half ago, although I can't remember. Time is a flat circle. See this person that's right up there running away? That's an actual player. So we might actually end up messing with them. So now we have a quest. We've got to use this first aid kit on 3 guys. So this is one of the person that I have to do. And so you see when I mouse over them, how the icon changes from the fist. It's a little hard to see, but it changes from the fist to like a first aid icon.
Right.
So what's happening is, since I have like a quest item that is the first aid kit, the game tells me when I'm mousing over the right thing, and I can just bandage them up. So I just went over to Keela, who's one of the crew members, and I used the first aid kit on her. And then we got this guy, Austin.
Did you apply the first aid kit to her?
I just clicked on her.
You clicked on her with your mouse. Okay.
Yep. And because it's a quest item, right? Like it's an item that you got specifically to facilitate the completion of the quest. And so when you have a quest item like that, and you mouse over a person, he seems like he's relaxing. He's just having a nap. So it'll, you see how when I move over and, hey, look, this is hi Esskyle or whoever you are. They're in a rush, obviously. And so we're taking our time here. This is all about learning and having fun. So see, the mouse changes and it tells me that I'm mousing over the right thing. And so you just click and boom, then it's done. And I know that the objective is complete. And go ahead. You
did all of them. You
did all 3. Yep.
All the people. Yeah. Okay.
And then we're ready to move. Let's find that missing expedition. So I'm going to complete the quest. I'm going to gain another level.
Okay. A lot of experience points.
Yeah. Yep. They actually really paced it out so that when you're done with Exile's Reach, you're almost 20th level. And so now you see the crew members kind of running off. And what's cool about this is they're running off and kind of showing you where to go. But this is a new thing. First off, I gained a level, so I have a new spell now. This is going to be fun. So this spell is called Blink. And what it does is it helps me move forward. And it teleports me. So when I hit Blink, let's say I'm walking, I can hit it and I blinked forward. And so this is a cool way to get away from enemies or just move farther.
Gotcha.
You can't do it very often. It has what's called a cooldown. So you know how my brother, sometimes he'll say something kind of wild and then he'll be like, I'm on cooldown now.
Yeah. That's
a
what he
World of
means.
Warcraft reference. So
Gotcha.
abilities have a I mean, from context, you can kind of understand what it means.
Right. I understand exactly. Yeah.
So Blink has a 15-second cooldown, so you can only use it once every 15 seconds, which is
Gotcha.
not bad.
No,
But you know,
if you're trying to run away from a danger, it makes a difference.
exactly. So
Right.
So what they're doing now is everybody ran off. We're going to like the next campsite. So what it
Okay.
told me to do is hit the map button and look to see where I'm supposed to go next. So you can actually mouse in on the map and get a little better look. And so this is where I got to go next. And I see there's a little,
Okay.
you know how to read a map. So we read the map.
Right.
We know there's a road, and we're going to go travel north to find the expedition survivors. The other thing
Okay.
is, if you look on the screen, you'll see this little diamond thing.
Yep.
And it actually, you can't see it because you're watching on a stream, but it actually has the number of yards between them and me. So I know
Okay.
how close we are. And it actually is in 3D space where they are. So I know that I'm going in the right direction. So now I just run.
Is that the captain running with you?
Yep. Captain Garrick and a couple other crew members. Oh, this is actually a person. That's a player. Her name is Alalaria.
It's a great name.
It is. She is a night elf hunter. So you see,
God,
she got a
she's
bow and
cute.
arrow. Yeah, she's great. My friend Marie plays a hunter. All of her characters are hunters. She really likes them. They get to have like pets and they fight with a bow and arrow. So Alaria is on the ground. The others taken need food. Okay, so not sure. So I know what they want me to do next. So it looks like maybe we're going to go hunting, cooking meat. This is Alaria. She's a Draenei shaman who was with the Lost Expedition. She's nearly starved to death. We need to get her something to eat. Slay some of the nearby wildlife for their meat. Bring whatever you find here to cook. If we can help her gain her strength, she might be able to tell us what happened to the others. So now we're going to get 5 raw meat from wildlife around the abandoned camp. So now we go fight some guys.
And they'll have a line under them.
Yep, they will have. Yes, they will have stuff. So these are dead enemies. Looks like somebody else was already here.
Right.
And so we just wander around the campsite. Oh, you know what? I can fight an albatross. So that's a flying bird.
Right.
And have albatross for dinner.
Oof.
So I shot it,
Oh,
and it fell right out of the sky. Took 2 shots. And so then we have the sparkles. So then we search it. And here we go. It's got raw meat and a ruffled feather. Treasure.
Okay.
Oh, that one just got shot out of the air by another player, Gagwin, the dwarf hunter. This is
boy, somebody else that's really playing.
Yeah, absolutely. There were 2
Oh my
people.
God. I know. I see that.
And so they're all over there. So I'm going to move because it looks like. Go ahead.
They're it's just the same as your quest.
Yeah, their quest is exactly.
I mean,
the same.
they're also. Oh, okay. So you're competing with other people, real world people.
Yeah.
For the same raw meat.
Exactly. Now the good news is the game will it can kind of tell, and so these enemies they respawn after a certain amount of time. So like when you kill these guys, they'll come back. It's not like it's once a day or anything crazy like that.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
So what will happen is, I found another area. Because they're all over there. So I'm just going to come here and fight dudes over here. And so that's kind of how it works in these kind of social games is that you're either in each other's face and you're competing, or you just move and go find something else. When monsters are a higher level, they don't die in one hit. So it's easier for us to kind of fight the same monster. And if we fight the same monster, we can both get treasure from it. So I killed 5 monsters, and I have my 5 pieces of meat. And so now I'm going to go back, and we're going to see what we can do.
I love my tail.
She looks great. It's a good-looking character.
I know it's because of Avatar. That's why I love my tail. I just realized that's what's going on.
We made as close to a Na'vi as we can get. I think the Night Elves might have been a little bit, but I like this character. So
I like the character a lot.
Oh, there's that dwarf guy. And so now we have a piece of cooked meat because I clicked on the fire and see how there's a frying pan there.
Yeah.
And so now I have cooked meat. And so now she has a quest turn in. We just do it again. So she needs some food. We're going to hook her up. And so Ilaria quickly eats the meat that you've cooked for her. By the light, I feel so much better. I need to keep moving. Quillbore have kidnapped the expedition, including Captain Garrick's son. Now we know why Captain Garrick was. Now we know why Captain Garrick was so nervous, because she was looking for the missing expedition, but she's looking for her son. So now we're extra invested.
Right.
So now I talk to her. Ilaria says that the Quillbore kidnapped the rest of the expedition, including my son. Chances are we'll have to brave the Quillbore's den. That's no small feat. They are far more aggressive, intelligent than the Murlocs you faced. I need to make sure I'm not sending you to your death. We're going to have one last sparring session. So now, before I fought that guy, but now I'm fighting the captain. And
the captain to spar with her because she's doing this to help you, so she knows that you're good enough. Yes, and in the game, like design-wise, the reason they do this is where they're going to teach us how to not. This is how they're kind of going to teach you how to play your character correctly. And so in this case, I've been doing it right. Mages are relatively straightforward, but here it's press 1 to cast Frostbolt to slow your enemy from far away. I'm going to back up. I'm going to hit 1. And I'm going to keep going. And it's going to tell me now it's going to be press 2 to cast Fire Blast when they're close. And so what it wants me to do is, she hits me far away. And now we're going to do it again. So basically what it's doing is it's teaching me kind of the combo, which is you use Frostbolt from far away until they get close, and then you hit them with a fire, with the Fire Blast. Got it. And she knocks me away again. And for every class, they have a little mini quest like this where they teach you how to use it. And because every class plays a little bit differently. And so now I'm going to shoot her from far away. Oh, you can see how the goat just kind of spawned behind me? Yep. That's 1. Yep. And then when she gets close, you shoot her with fire, and you hit the 2 button. Yep. Okay. Put it a little out of order, so now I got to wait for the 2 to cool down, but she's not doing a ton of damage. This is really just about kind of showing me. And then we do 2, and there. Abilities proven against Captain Garrick. Okay. There we go. And so it teaches you kind of like on a very basic level how to use your abilities. Okay. And now we're here. Fine work, Gold Hooves. Let's speak with Ilaria and hunt down those Quillbore. So now I gained another level. So now I have another spell. This is actually kind of a neat thing. It's called Conjure Refreshment. Now what that does is I can make food for myself, in this case cookies, that I can eat while I'm out of combat to heal myself. So let's say I get hurt. Wow. Between fights, because obviously if your health bar goes to 0, you die. We don't want that. Right. But mages don't have any way of healing themselves in combat. That's not their thing. But I can just hit that and eat a cookie, and it would heal me and give me all my mana back too. So that's my new thing. So it's not a new combat ability, but it's like kind of core to the identity of what a mage is. Right. So when you earn new things, and there's that bar at the bottom where it shows the frost, the fire, and then that big thing where you fought. Okay. When you earn things, does the game put them in different boxes, or did you place them in the places? I did. Put them there. Okay, so why did you put 4 of them on the right and 3 of them on the left? What's the placement mean? It buttons us. So the each one of these boxes has a key assigned to them. So this is 1 and 2 and 3. So if you look at your keyboard, right, you see where, you look and see where the W key is. Correct. You'll see 1, 2, and 3 are like right above the W. Oh, I get it. Easy to get to. Yeah, I put my combat abilities within easy reach of where my hand is naturally going to rest from W, because that's kind of where my hand rests. So, like the things that we call
this is super nerdy gamer talk, but the things that we call like core rotational abilities, like the stuff that we use all the time, go on 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4. And then the stuff that
Okay.
we use, and then the less often I use it, the farther away I put it from.
Okay,
this
so
spot.
what number does it go up to? I can't see because their boxes are so small.
So it goes to 8, and then I have a mouse with a mouse wheel on it, and I actually
Okay.
have mouse wheel down is bound to this ability, which is a racial ability that you get for being a Draenei, which is a heal. It actually heals you for a little bit. And blink is mouse wheel forward. So while I'm running, if I like use the mouse wheel and mouse wheel up, like I'm trying to go to the top of a web page, it'll actually have me blink forward.
Gotcha.
And then these two don't have a button assigned to them; they are unassigned. And
You
that's
go there. You have to go there with your mouse and
I
click
have to
on
click
them.
it with my mouse, but that's okay because I can't do it in combat, so I don't need to be
Right.
very.
Just
know?
things like that. One of them is the cookies to get you refilled.
Yep. And one of them
And-
is the spell that makes it. And I can add, like, if eventually I'm going to get a lot more abilities, right? And so
Right.
one of the things that I can do, I can't do it right now because it doesn't unlock, but eventually you can put more bars on the screen to put more stuff. Like you can put a bar on the side of the screen to put
Oh,
like, your
okay.
mounts. And, I don't know if you remember when I was playing my priest and flying around, I had a bunch of bars that had a bunch of
saw-
different abilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just, I put different stuff in different places depending on when I need it.
And when you go back days later and play the same character in the same quest, all those bars are still
Everything is
there.
customized to the specific character because,
Okay.
So what's the deal with the goat? Why does that coastal goat keep?
oh, they're just walking around.
Is he a?
That's
Is
one
that
of the
a? Is that
monsters.
just?
Go ahead.
Is
Sorry.
Is that another player or is that a feature of this place?
Oh, it's a monster. It's one of the monsters that we could have killed to get meat. We just didn't.
Oh,
They were
okay.
just all dead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. These were the ones right here where we could have killed them and gotten meat from them, but they were dead when we went out looking for them.
Gotcha. And now they've come back to.
But now
Okay.
they respawned.
You told me they Would you call it respawn?
It's called respawning, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so now we talk to her. So she says, northbound, the Quillbore kidnapped the rest of the expedition and took them to the north. I heard mention of needing more sacrifices for some sort of ritual. Please, you must rescue
Oh,
them.
geez.
Captain Garrick's son was a part of that group. He swore his mother would save us. So now we've got the quest. And so now we have another thing. Now, if I
Are all
look at
of
the map,
these characters women? Are all of these characters women because I'm a woman, or if I was a man, would they be men?
no, these characters are women on purpose right now.
Okay.
There was an effort when Exile's Reach was created to include more, gender and skin color diversity. So
Great.
a lot. So they, so these NPCs are men, but you'll notice, or are women, but you'll notice. I mean, there were a couple of guys on the boat too. So
It
they
works.
mixed it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely tried to make things a little bit more, which is why the captain is a black woman.
Right. So if I was a man, she still would be a black woman.
She is the same character, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm very happy about that.
yeah. And so the one thing that I did want to do, because I saw on the map there was a treasure chest on the map.
Okay.
And so like every once in a while there's going to be these secrets,
Ooh.
just treasure chests everywhere. And so and you can tell it's a secret because it's got like this purple outline.
Okay.
And so you actually get experience points for finding secrets. And in this case, it has a new belt. We like belts because it's armor. And so we get it and we put it on. And now I have a new belt. And, so anytime I'm on the map and I see a treasure chest, I always at least give it a try to go find it because oftentimes there's cool stuff in there.
What does your belt do for you, kiddo?
It's just a little bit more armor. But like as you get
Oh.
higher level, new items will give you better stats. So maybe your spells will do more damage, or
Gotcha.
have more. You might have more hit points, so you can take more damage and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So now we go. We're just so we found this guy, Austin Huxworth. and he is scouting outside the brambles. And so we're going to fight a new set of monsters that are called Quillbores. I will show you. So I accepted the quest from him. I forgot to read the quest text, but more or less it was, there are Quillbore in there. We got to go get him. And he says, there's a member of the expedition trapped by Quillbore up ahead. Let's go over the plans to rescue him. So the first quest, he has multiple quests for me. So the first one is down with the Quillbore. From what I can gather, the Quillbore are performing a necromantic ritual on one of the expedition members. Their chief is Geolord Krekog. He's the one who seeks to drain the life from our friend. That's not cool. We're going to slay Krekog and save the captive member of the expedition. He may know where the others are taken. So this is what Geolord Krekog looks like. He's a bad mamma jamma. And so I'm going to accept that quest.
Okay.
And then it automatically shows me the next one. Forbidden Quillbore Necromancy. Quillbore are primitive and savage. They rarely practice any magic other than geomancy. But this particular, which is just a kind of magic, but this particular Quillbore seem to be dabbling in necromancy. They must be stopped. Slay them in their den. We cannot allow them to raise an army of undead.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you watch The Walking Dead. You know what an army of undead would do.
We don't certainly do.
So I accepted my 2 quests. Now we're going to go in. Now, here's the thing. See how this guy has a yellow bar over his head? And now I'm going to click on this guy. See how he has a red one?
Yeah.
Now, the difference is this is a passive mob. See how I can like just kind of, and mob means monster. So you see how I can like just walk through him and he doesn't really care?
Right.
Until I attack it, at which point it will become aggressive. Notice how it turned red.
Yep.
So red means that it is hostile. So what that means is I'm coming into an area, and this is kind of the new thing that I'm learning, that is full of hostile mobs that will attack me as soon as I get too close. So I kind of got to stay away and attack them from a distance. And this is where using the Frostbolt from far away will help. And so I got him in 2 shots. And I search him, and I got a little bit of money. And so now I'm in this area, and as I look around, you see there's just lots of dudes.
Lots of red, yeah.
But so we kind of see on the map that I kind of want to go forward and to the left, because eventually I want to get this Geolord guy. You can't read it, I don't think, but he's up here, and it says, if I mouse over it, it says Geolord Krekog or whatever. So we know we want to go forward. So, see, I got too close, so it ran at me. But it's okay. I'm a mage. I can take a hit, and I blew him up. And so we just kind of keep on going. We're going to work our way through. And search some stuff. Is this making a little bit more sense as we kind of cruise through?
Red, bad.
Red, bad.
Okay, so on the left, there's like a gold diamond. You're moving it. It's moving. What is that?
That is where my quest target is. So like I can choose which quest I want to focus on, and I'm focusing on Geolord Krekog. And so what that gold little circle on the map means is that means that it is time. That's where he is, so I can go directly to him.
Okay.
And so that's where he is. Now, I've got to fight my way through his guys, but that's all right, because I have to kill them anyway to do the quest. There we go. We've killed 5 of them. I'm going to avoid these guys on the right-hand side for now. You can even see some of them have Z's coming out of their head. That means they're asleep. So as long as I don't attack them, they'll leave me alone.
Gotcha. Even though they're red.
Even though they're red. If I ran over them or attacked one of them, it might wake it up. So now here we are. He's doing some nasty stuff, and that's my friend. Member of the expedition. So now we're going to get rid of him. So here we go. I have a sicky Meggie home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And there we go. We killed him just like the other guys. He's supposed to be kind of scary, but not so much.
Pretty scary.
And then our little buddy, he ran off because I saved him. Lindy Springstock is her name. Said, I knew the Alliance would rescue us. Let's get out of here. And then runs off that way. But I can't quite go yet because I still have to kill 2 more Quillboars.
That's your quest, right?
Yep, that's my quest. So I'm going to run back. I'm going to ignore the sleeping guys, but I want to show you something else. So this guy, the Ogre Overseer,
Yeah.
he is a special mob because he's an ogre, and these are not ogres. So if you see something that like looks a little out of place, sometimes it's worth killing them. They're a little tougher, but
Because he's the corner, though. Ooh, geez. 3, 4. Up, 4.
we got him. We got him. Thankfully, I slowed him down with the frost bolts.
How did you slow him down?
With the frost bolts.
Frost.
That's one of the cool things about using frost spells is
Third one over is the frost spell.
Frost Bolt is the one that I used, and it does
Okay.
what it does is I launch a bolt of frost at the enemy. It does damage and slows their movement speed by
Okay.
50%. So
Okay.
basically, if I hit somebody from far away, it will slow them down. And he gave me a cape.
You're kidding.
I got a cape. See, I'm wearing
Nice.
a cape now. So now he doesn't count as killing a Quillboar, obviously, because he's not one. So now we're going to find 2 other guys. But
But it was worth it to kill him, even though he wasn't part of our quest,
yeah,
because
we
you
got a
knew
cape.
stuff.
Exactly. And I mean, we need the EXP too. I mean, the reality is this is, we're not pacifists.
XP is experience.
Experience points, yes. And so now I have killed all the required Quillboar. Oh, I was stupid and aggro. You call it aggroing them. I got too close to this guy, but that's all right. We got him. We're still at the point in the game where I'm a little bit more powerful than the monsters.
A little
So
bit
it's
more
easy.
powerful than they are.
Yeah, so it's easy for me to get them. It gets harder eventually.
Right, I'm sure.
So that Geolord guy, he's already respawned. And part of that is because you can't complete the quest without killing that specific guy. So like guys with names respawn pretty quickly so that more than one person can get the quest.
Sure.
There's 4 people wandering around here. I'm moving a little slower than them. But they are they don't want to make it so that we have to wait. But I see another another treasure chest here up in the corner.
And that's purple.
And it's purple, so we're going to search it. And I'm going to gain another level. And I got a pair of bracers.
Wow. Okay, so
Bracelets.
how do you search it? Are you hitting
I
it?
literally click it. With
You click it. Okay.
I click it just like anything else. Most
Okay.
everything interacting with it is a click. And so I got
Interacting
bracers.
and the ASDW is moving back and forth.
Yep.
Okay.
So now we're good. And so now I'm
Unless
Move
I'm
on.
blinking.
unless you're blinking, but then it's going to blink you in the direction that you it's going to blink you in the direction that you were facing or walking, so you're pretty much still controlling yourself with that. So
What's this? Did you do 2 quests?
well, remember, I did 2 quests for this guy Austin in the beginning. Remember, he had one to get rid of the Quillboars, but another one was to take care of the boss man, the
Right.
Geolord. And it just so happens that you turn in the quest for killing the Geolord to Lyndall Springstock, the gnome that I rescued,
Okay.
and then you turn in the kill quest to Austin. They
Okay.
split them up. And so for him, I completed it. I got my 937 experience points. And then I talked to this guy, and he's going to give me a pair of boots. So good work. I hope those Quillboy learned that necromancy is not the path to power. I mean, I sure showed them. So now we are, I gained a little bit more XP. And so now I have
How did you know which one to go to first?
which quest to go to.
Which
I-
quest to which
Oh,
quest?
I mean, there wasn't a first. It just so happened that I was clicking on one of them. I could have
Okay.
done them in either order. It wouldn't have mattered.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
No, that's okay. And so he gave me a pair of boots. And these are nice. These are cool because they are green. And green means they are, like there's a color code for how good some of the items are. So like these are white, which means they're kind of just basic, they're not magic or anything interesting like that. But I got my first green item. What's cool about green items is that they have bonuses to stats. So this one gives me a bonus to my intellect and to my stamina. And intellect for a mage means you do more damage, and stamina means you can take more hits. So,
But her cape is green also.
yeah, well, the green is just you see the word is, you might not be able to read it. You see how the word is green?
Yeah.
Expeditionary cloth boots. The green is not the color of the clothing. It's the color of the category of equipment. So
Oh,
those are
okay.
green.
Gotcha.
Whereas the cloak may be physically green, but it's technically white. It's the battered cloak.
That's a little confusing, Stephen.
It is, but I could also say green means uncommon, whereas blue, if I found a blue item, that's rare, or if it was purple, that means it's epic. And then orange means legendary. So like we call them greens and blues and purples, but that's our shorthand. But what I found was I found an uncommon green item.
Okay.
Which is just a visual shorthand. They try to use those kind of things with in these kind of games. In a lot of games, really, they try to use colors when possible, along with other kind of symbols to kind of make it so that you don't always have to read everything, right? Like if I have a bag full of stuff, and you can see this is my inventory.
Yeah.
It helps that some items are color coded, because then I go, oh, okay, well, I want to keep all the purple stuff because that's, those are epic items.
Right.
Whereas maybe I might want to get rid of the stuff that's white or gray because those items are not as good.
Gotcha.
So those kind of shorthand kind of make it easier to play the game without having to stop and read it.
Right.
Because there is a lot of reading, but you don't have to read everything if you just kind of follow along with the symbols. So,
well, I am not able to read what's on the screen, and I'm following along with it, so I know
exactly.
that.
Exactly. So now this person has another quest for me. It's the Scoutomatic 5000. You're looking for Henry Garrick, right? That's Captain Garrick's son. He's a nice guy, a bit glum, but nice. Luckily, you've happened to rescue the one and only Lindell, I can't even say it, Lindy Springstock, inventor extraordinaire. I've got my Scoutomatic 5000 all set to go. It'll fly up in the air and let you scout the area. I'll give you the honors. Use my Scoutomatic 5000 to find Henry and the rest of the expedition.
Oh, wow.
When I accept the quest, I'm going to look around and the Scoutomatic pops out. And I'm going to run up to it. And that's this little thing, and it blows up.
That's very.
Lindy uses a device on it. Oops, too big. Lindy's using a weird little device to make it big and whatever. So now I'm going to climb onto it. And now I'm attached to this helicopter thing by a rope. And it's going to fly me over. Now, this is a big pile of red bars right here.
This is not good.
Yeah, I do not want to attack these guys head on without some kind of shenanigans.
Correct.
Because this would be bad. But here we see a big pile of undead and monsters.
Yeah.
And I see a green name here because I'm looking down, and you can't read it, but I can see it. Oh, look. You got this ogre guy, and that is Henry Garrick right there.
Oh, no. He's right in the middle of it.
Yep. Says the full force of the Alliance will rain down upon you.
Savor the final moments of your life.
Yeah, what a jerk. Well, what he's going to do is he's going to try and drain his life force to try and resurrect a dragon from the dead. That's not cool. So now it's going to fly me back.
Oh, I thought she was looking for a way to get into the. Okay, just flying.
Now it's flying me back.
Oh, okay.
Yep, now it's flying me back, and we're going to try and figure something out. So we've got a whole bunch of crew members here. We're all very concerned, obviously.
Right.
And that's another person. Her name is Lyra. Another mage. So,
Listen.
And so now, so the Scoutomatic 5000, there's no problem a little resizing can't fix. Let's find something to stomp those undead flat. I wonder what we're going to do. The resizer
I don't
version
know.
9.0 barely works on inanimate objects. I have no idea what it'll do to organic matter. But if we do nothing, Henry will die. Desperate times call for massive experimental science, Goldoos. Take the resizer version 9.0.1. I'll follow you around and calibrate it. We're going to whip up a giant boar. So now I've got this backpack on me. And so I'm going to run up to one of these boars. And you see how when I mouse over it, it gives me a...
yellow outline.
Katie just texted and said she needs you to mute your camera and call her. She says, I need mom.
Oh, okay.
So you can go ahead and mute the camera. I'll just wait right here.
Mute my camera.
Mute your microphone. Along the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so just mute that. Okay. We're just going to take a little minute. So my mom is calling my sister. So it is possible that we may need to stop if it is urgent. So we're going to wait a minute. This has been a fun little time. And if we have to stop, I will literally stop right here and we'll pick up right where we left next time. Okay, so it turned out that was kind of urgent, but it'll be okay. So we are going to call it for today. This was a little fun, little first episode of Morning Coffee with Pro Gamer Nana, as we had some lessons about World of Warcraft and MMOs. And yeah, it actually was really cool. So thanks for everybody for coming. I will be back next time. And maybe we'll play WoW. Maybe we'll play something else. I don't know. But until next time, don't forget, get your family game on just like I did. Talk to you soon, everybody.